Hello, my friend. Welcome back to What's Up in Makeup. This week we have a very heavy brands being cruddy show, starting with an MLM. Of course, we're going to be talking about Rodan and Fields and how they're paying out $38 million to settle some class action lawsuits. Then we're going to go into a little bit about what's going on with Etsy right now and why 20,000 sellers have dropped from the platform in strike. And then we have a story about Shiseido and why one person who used to work for the company is now calling them Shitseido. It's real. Let's talk about it. Hang tight. We're getting into it right now. As somebody who has very short, sparse lashes, I'm always looking for ways to enhance them. I like my eyes to look big, and I feel like lashes really help with that. So like today, I'm wearing fake lashes because mascara sometimes just doesn't do it for me. But there's another route that a lot of people go beyond lash extensions, fake lashes, mascara, all of that, and that's lash enhancing serums that are supposed to make your lashes longer and thicker. Well, Rodan and Fields has one called Lash Boost, and they got in big trouble with customers who found out that they used a specific ingredient in that Lash Boost product that was used for glaucoma patients and had some pretty serious side effects. I mean, I get it. As a brand, you're always looking for new ways to make your products better, so you find out that these glaucoma patients are all of a sudden having these beautiful lashes, and you're like, hey, how can we market this? But the problem is you kind of need to tell people that are buying the products that there may be some side effects. Let's talk about what those are. The ingredient is called isopropyl chlorprostonate, and the FDA says that it could cause irritation, inflammation, and excess of blood in the vessels of the eyes, a buildup of fluid in the center of the retina, and it could even change the color of the iris of your eye. So not only did Rodan and Fields not put drug facts on their products, they said specifically that it wasn't a drug product, only contained cosmetic ingredients, quote, not associated with any significant side effects. So essentially they lied. Now they did settle this lawsuit, but they didn't admit to doing anything wrong. They're basically just paying out to get the class action suits to go away. They are paying out $38 million for 3 different class action lawsuits. So customers who purchased the Lash Boost between October 1st, 2016 and March 11th, 2022 and have proof of purchase can get up to $350 cash or a credit voucher for up to $500. If you don't have proof of purchase, you could get $175 cash or a credit voucher worth up to $250. The deadline to claim is September 7th of 2022, but just a friendly reminder that it is illegal to file false claims. In addition to the payout, Rodan and Fields has also agreed to change their labeling to be more transparent about the ingredients and effects that customers may see. There will be a link to file down below if you are a customer affected. All right, Etsy sellers are pissed. And I know they sell a bunch of stuff on Etsy, but I do know there are a lot of indie brands that sell on Etsy, that get their start on Etsy. So I do feel like this is relevant to What's Up in Makeup. There was a petition started where over 80,000 people have signed in protest against the actions that Etsy is taking. And like I said in the intro, 20,000 sellers are going on strike. So what is Etsy doing? Essentially, they are upping their fees for sellers from 5% to 6.5%. And it's just horrible, cruddy timing because a lot of us who have small businesses are seeing price increases in our supplies, in shipping, all of that. So to also have Etsy raising prices on the sellers is just horrible timing. Etsy says the change of fee is necessary to increase their marketing budget and expand the suite of services offered to support sellers, but they didn't give specific examples of that. This is the thing. It's not like Etsy is a struggling company that they're just trying to make ends meet. What they're really trying to do is compete with Amazon. So in 2021, Etsy generated $2.3 billion in sales with a B. They also acquired 2 smaller companies in Brazil and in Great Britain that were similar companies to Etsy, but now Etsy owns them. Sellers are also complaining that there's a lot of mass-produced, resold crap being sold on Etsy because Etsy used used to be a place where people that make things from their home could go and sell, but now people are buying cheap crap that is mass produced and then reselling it for a profit on Etsy, which is kind of ruining the charm of the entire platform. And as a buyer, it's hard to tell whether something is handmade or whether it's mass produced just from a photo. Strikers are demanding that Etsy address their concerns by April 18th, or many of them are going to leave the platform permanently for places like Shopify, which is the platform that I use and love. The problem with Shopify is you don't have the same kind of advertising that you might get on Etsy. So I'll be following the story. Hopefully they can resolve things and Etsy can stop being so stinking greedy. Some people may think, 5% to 6.5% really isn't that much, but if this is your full-time gig and you're spending, 2, 3, 4 hours on one jewelry piece and you're selling it for $75, that ends up adding up a lot over time. So then let's say you choose to raise prices so that you don't take that hit and you put the hit on the customer. Well, then you're now competing with all of these mass-produced jewelry or makeup or whatever that people are getting at a low cost and then reselling, and the customer doesn't know the difference. They may look very similar, even though one may be of much higher quality and have so much love put into it, where one is just factory mass produced by a machine. So it just creates this big mess where, you would hope that a company like Etsy, who was built on the backs of people working hard to create something from their heart, would actually support those people and want those people to continue on the platform instead of more Amazon-like sellers. But I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments down below. I just want to give you fair warning about this next story. This is all based on a UK-based whistleblower that submitted a statement to Estee Laundry, which is an Instagram account that focuses on kind of gossipy stuff, holding the industry accountable, all of that. And all of the comments that are supporting it are all people on Instagram. No mainstream news has picked this up, and Shiseido has not said anything about it. So I just want to put that right up front so you can kind of take this for what it is. But it is an interesting story, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. So I want you to be in the know. Here we go. So essentially what happened is that this whistleblower says that hundreds of current and former employees of Shiseido in the UK have had their information compromised, and that their credit card numbers were stolen along with their names and all kinds of other compromising information about employees. And then employees are having car loans taken out in their name, their bank accounts completely liquidated, bank loans being taken out for £5,000, like stuff like that happening to these employees, and Shiseido isn't saying anything about it. The whistleblower said that Shiseido management and HR have denied responsibility and haven't put out any information about the alleged data breach. Shiseido did have a previous data breach in 2016 that was very widely known about, and Shiseido talked about it, but this was for customer information. It was approximately 420,000 customers that their information got compromised, including 56,000 online shoppers. One previous employee in the comments underneath the post said that they are not surprised that this is happening with Shiseido, and they nicknamed the company Shitseido because they had such a bad experience working for the brand. I tend to lean toward believing the people that are saying that this happened, but at the same time, it's unverified and there's no way to really check it unless Shiseido says something or someone at a major news source that has more connections than I do can verify it. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this. Make sure you're subscribed to What's Up Your Makeup because I will be giving you an update if I can get one. All right, in this week's stupid TikTok trends that are going viral, okay, so y'all know how much I hate my forehead wrinkles. So like anything that I can do to help them to be less prominent, to make them not get as deeper than they already are, all of that, besides Botox, anything that's more, through skincare or devices and stuff like that. I'm not going the Botox route, which is probably the most effective way to do something like that. But anyway, my point is I'm always on the lookout. So I was very interested about this story. The viral video is by an account called the Aussie Rapunzel. The video has 4.3 million views. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, but I'm gonna drop out her music and put in my own music because I don't know if I'm allowed to use the music that she used. Here it is. So essentially the idea is that you put the tape on so that your forehead doesn't wrinkle and therefore you don't get wrinkles. Hello, Editing Jen here. So in editing, I created this beauteous little collage of the moment where her forehead was wrinkled the most on each day. And you can clearly see she is purposely not raising her eyebrows as much as she is on the earlier days when she's trying to show that this fake hack works. And there's more evidence to that in just a second. Hang tight. I read an article in Nylon magazine and they did interview a doctor. His name is Joshua Zeichner, MD, and he is an associate professor of dermatology at Mount Sinai Hospital. And he basically said that you would have to wear this all day, every day, in order for it to have any kind of longer preventative effects. And that wearing it at night really isn't going to do anything because the cause of the wrinkles is the constant this. And I have such an expressive face that I'm constantly raising my eyebrows and causing those wrinkles, which is why my wrinkles are so prominent, at least to me. I think they're more prominent to me than anybody else. But anyway, I digress. He said doing it while you're sleeping isn't going to do anything. You would essentially have to wear these all day. And then you have the issue of maybe the tape could cause irritation or mess up your skin's barrier by constantly, every day pulling the tape off, putting it back on, pulling the tape off, putting it back on. He said to Nylon that essentially the best way to prevent wrinkles is to just have a good skincare routine that includes ingredients that help strengthen the skin's barrier like vitamin C. He also recommended, of course, sunscreen, retinol, stuff like that, stuff that we already know, and that this is complete BS. And we know 100% that this is complete BS because the person that created the video, a couple of days later, she released this video.
Everyone seems to think I got Botox in that last video. I'm here to show you that I did not get Botox. The tape made it really hard for me to lift my eyebrows up and down once I took it off, kind of like if you put two fingers on your forehead and tried to do it.
So why does her face look exactly the same as it did in the viral video? Editing Jen after I watched that clip again, and it's clear that she's saying that the effect was from just barely removing the tape and that it was not because it actually worked. I mean, such a liar. This woman straight up lied and tried to trick people into wasting their time in order to go viral. I mean, it is the biggest sin ever committed, no, but it's still cruddy. All right, now I've said what I really want to say. Back to the video. It's just another thing, somebody trying to go viral with some crap. That's the end game, is don't do it. It's stupid. All right, really short product report this week. Just a couple of things I wanted to highlight for you. Let's start with the ColourPop Let's Roll collection. It is so cute. I mean, of course, the colors are things we've seen before, but it is really cute. Full collection is $115. What's available both in the collection and then as singles, we have the pressed powder palette. We have some face crystals, Super Shock shadow kits, Super Shock blush, So Juicy plumping gloss, and Soul Body shimmers. Yeah, just absolutely adorable. I'm a big roller skating fan and I'm not buying any of it, but I do think it's really cute. Respect to the designers. Also, respect to the designers over at Makeup Revolution for the Simpsons Summer of Love collection. 2 palettes, a brush set, makeup bag, ombre highlighter in 2 shades, liquid blush in 2 shades, and 2 lip tints. I really love the retro feel on this one. It's adorable. And they did send over their Simpsons Halloween collection that I got to try, and I really liked quite a bit of it. Probably about half, which is a lot for me and Revolution. I liked about half of it. This I thought was interesting, the Huda Beauty Color Block Obsessions palette. It's 2 different palettes. There's mattes, metallics, dazzling baked flake shadows, and debossed water activated cake liners, $29 each. It's kind of nice to see cake liners making like a more mainstream path into bigger brands. I think a lot of people really have fun with cake liners. I haven't used them a whole lot just because I don't wear a lot of colorful looks, but it's nice that people that do like cake liners have a lot more options. Now, this is going to be very controversial, my opinion on this one, I think. I love Wayne Goss. Let me just tell you that. I have loved Wayne Goss since I found Wayne Goss. I think he's a lovely man. We're almost birthday twins. We were born in the same year. I think he's a couple months older, a couple months younger than me. And I have an emotional attachment to Wayne Goss, but I'm not so sure about his latest launch. Let's talk about it. The Luxury Cream Foundation. It comes in 12 shades, $38. I did watch part of the demo that he did on Instagram. It was like over 50 minutes long, and I honestly just did not have time to watch the entire thing. I think I am in my casual time next week. If I have time, the crack's gonna watch the whole thing. I watched the beginning of it, and essentially what it looks like to me is pancake makeup. I used to do theater when I was in high school, and that was the kind of makeup we used backstage. It's like just like a flat, really compact foundation. And I remember using something similar from Marc Jacobs when I first started my channel and really liked that. Usually they're very full coverage, and Wayne said that it can be built up to very full coverage, but you could also do a little bit lighter coverage. He also showed him using the deeper shades to he didn't call it bronzing or contouring, he called it warming up the complexion. Wayne did say in the video that it does kind of take on whatever you put on underneath as far as the luminosity. So like if you use a more luminous, moisturizing, hydrating foundation primer or a moisturizer, that the foundation will take on that effect. In the video, he did use it on his bare skin, and it looked pretty matte to me. My first thing with this is I wish that the shade range was a little bit more of a gradient. There's some really big jumps between some of the shades that's a little bit odd to me, especially Wayne being in the makeup industry and everything and knowing what people are looking for, people are asking for, all of that. I'm sure there was some logic behind it. I'm just not sure what that was. So maybe he'll come out with some filler shades at some point. I did notice he came out with a really deep shade and also a very fair shade that looks almost white. So hopefully that'll reach the ends of the spectrum nicely. The other thing is he's releasing a weightless powder. It's $28, but you have to buy the puff separately for $10, which I think is very odd, and I don't see why we're paying $10 for a powder puff that typically comes with the product. Like I don't know, it just seems kind of ridiculous. It doesn't look like it's in any way a luxury puff. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't have it in my hand, so I could be wrong on that. Maybe when I watch the rest of the Instagram video, I'll learn why this puff is worth $10. I don't have high hopes that it's worth that. But if you think it's worth it, they are offering a bundle deal. It's not less expensive than buying the products individually. You get a foundation, you get the weightless powder, and you get the puff for $76. If you do try this, let me know what you think. I think I'm gonna pass on it. It doesn't seem like a product that I would enjoy based on previous experience with products like that. I'm more of a light coverage kind of person. So yeah, I'll be watching out for reviews, but I'm not getting it. All right, moving over to Sephora, we have from Artist Couture, the Supreme Mauves Eyeshadow and Pressed Pigment Palette. It's $45. Reviews so far are really negative. I mean, there's only 4 of them, so who knows, but people are really complaining about the shimmers in this. Have you ever tried Artist Couture eyeshadows? I have not, so I would love to know your thoughts. Too Faced is launching a new brow product at Sephora. I think it might be available on Too Faced's website now, but I'm not 100% on that. It is coming soon to Sephora. There's no date. It just says out of stock like it does sometimes, and then it just pops in stock in the next couple days. So if you're interested, keep an eye on the Sephora website. It's called the Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax. It's $25. Looking at the before and after pictures, I'm honestly not sure if I like the way that it looks on the model. I don't know. This product is kind of interesting. From Dior, the Dior Addict Lip Tints, $35. It does come in 5 shades. They say it's a transfer-proof, semi-matte lip tint made with 95% natural origin ingredients and infused with cherry oil for up to 24 hours of hydration. How are we getting 24 hours of hydration? Especially in a tint, because usually lip tints are pretty sheer. There isn't a whole lot of like substance to them. So I'm really confused, but they do look really pretty in the swatches. Very curious about those. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you from Sephora is very interesting. It is the Sephora Favorites Foundation Try On at Home. It's $10. You get a set of 14 foundation samples in your shade range. It's 8 different color choices, and you get 6 different brands. You get between 1 and 5 different selections of that foundation. And they have swatches on their website of all of the foundations in case you're curious whether you think that a set would match you well or not. I think this is a great idea because additionally, along with that, you also get a $10 voucher to use toward one of the foundations if you go in and purchase, which is great. It kind of reminds me of their perfume sampler sets. Really smart, especially right now where we can't really get into the stores as much and not really knowing what's going on with COVID, and it's just kind of a mess right now. So I think it's a great idea, and I hope that they come out with more of these with more brands. All right, enough of Sephora. Let's move on to Ulta. We have Hipdot and Jojo Siwa and her cute new hair. But the palettes, honestly, like it's typical Jojo Siwa, all the white and the random colors and the bows and all of the things. We have 2 glitter and pigment palettes. They're $18 each, a lip trio for $20. That's what's available on Ulta's website. But if you go over to the Hipdot website, there's a brush set as well. And there's also a vault. The vault costs $88 and the brush set is $20. And I tend to like Jojo Siwa as a person. I've never been into her music or anything, but she just seems like a lovely human. So I'm gonna cheer her on this launch. I hope that it does well. We talked about this last week, but now it's available at Ulta, the Kylie Cosmetics and Kendall collection. There's a blush and highlighter cheek quad, $49, lip crayon set, $32, pressed powder palette, $49, and lip gloss for $16. Does it seem like they're more expensive? It seems like the prices of Kylie Cosmetics are going up. Is that just me, or am I imagining things? Then we have the Uoma Beauty Highlife Face Palette, $39.50. There's 2 colorways available. There's 2 highlighters, a blush, and a face sculpting bronzer. They say that it's 4 full-size pans. I'm a big Uoma Beauty fan, so I may actually get this. I'm kind of on the fence. Iconic London came out with a Radiance Booster. It kind of reminds me of like the Charlotte Tilbury or the Samantha Ravindal one where you're, setting up like a luminous base for your foundation. It's $39. It does come in 10 shades. And finally, a few products from Nabla launched at Ulta. We have the Read My Mind palette, $39. I love how it's organized. So what they have is it's like a stripe where they have the monochromatic shadows there, and then they also have them organized in quads. And I think this is really nice for somebody that's like just getting into makeup, not sure how to pick shades, or somebody that's trying to get ready quickly and they don't want to think about it. They just want to pick a quad and go, or pick a row and go. I love when brands organize things like that. So great job to Nabla on it. They also have the Glorious Lights Glitter Palette, $25. It looks super chunky, but then in the description, it talks about how you don't need a glitter glue for it. So I would imagine it's got some kind of like sticky base underneath it to help it to adhere to the eye, which I think is pretty neat. And then finally, they just came out with a freckle maker. There's a bunch of brands that have these now. This is Nabla's. It's $18. They say you can do it really lightly and just do very subtle freckles, or go all the way full Marilyn Monroe beauty mark if you want to. All right, we're going PR, purchase product of the week. I have a lot to share with you this week. First, let's talk about my Sephora VIB purchases that I made. I have a couple of them. I got the Huda Beauty blush. This is in the shade Baddie Berry, and I will show it to you right here. It looks very similar to other products that I have. It did take some building to get to where I'm at. So if you want something that can build, this might be a good option for you. But it definitely, from first impression, doesn't seem like it's anything better than like the Milani one that I own. But I mean, it's nice. And I do like the packaging. I like it better in person than I did online. I thought it looked really cheap online. I feel like it looks better in person. It's got kind of a, I don't know, like a Narzy feeling here, and then the plastic top here. And then I got this. I was so curious about this when we talked about this in What's Up in Makeup the other week that I bought one. This is the Refi Lip Sculpt. The packaging is a little odd. Let me just show you. So you lift off here, and then this is the lip pencil. You put this on, you wind it up, and I love how it winds all the way down, and you apply that like a regular lip liner. It feels dry but comfortable on the lips. And then on the other side, this is where I had trouble, was getting this open the first time. It was really tight and the top kept pulling off. Like I was having trouble getting it open and also keeping the top here on. This is they call it a setter, and essentially it just feels like silicone on the lips. It's kind of weird, honestly. I would personally, like, I don't know if I like the way the silicone feels. I think it's just odd. It makes it more comfortable. I'll have to let you know whether it increases the wear time on it at all or like messes with the wear time in any way. I think it's just so different that I'm not used to it. But just so you know, it's essentially silicone that you're putting over top of the lip liner to kind of make it a little more comfortable. There is a lip gloss that goes with it, but I didn't get that. Also, you may notice my face is a little bit yellow today. That's because I tried this sample. This is the Beauty Blender Bounce Liquid Whip Longwear Foundation. I tried it in shade 3225, and it is a bit yellow on me. I do like the finish though. I thought the finish was a nice soft focus kind of finish, not too matte, not dewy at all. I would say it leans more matte than anything, but it's definitely yellow, so I don't think this is going to be the shade for me. I am gonna try this shade and see if it's better, but honestly, that one looks more yellow. I don't know, maybe this one. I don't know. I'm going to keep trying it, and I'll let you know as an update, probably in favorites and fails, or maybe next week in What's Up in Makeup. On my eyes today, I had gotten this in my Beautylish Lucky Bag that I purchased. This is Walk of No Shame by Charlotte Tilbury, and honestly, I'm not super impressed with this, especially this shade here. It's more of a topper. I did think that maybe it had hard pan on it, like the oils from my fingers messed up the top layer of the shadow, so I took some tape and I tried to remove that, but still, it's just a very sheer topper. Let me show you. It's not, there's like nothing there. You have to really dig to get in there. It's essentially, I feel like it's fine, but definitely not worth a Charlotte Tilbury price point, except for the packaging. The packaging's cute. And then finally, I wanted to mention my perfume for today. I do purchase Scentbird. This is not a sponsored video. I know Scentbird does a lot of sponsorships. They'd sponsor me before. This is not sponsored, but I really like my perfume that I got this month. It is by Skylar, and it's called Coconut Cove. Scentbird does give a little card with it. So the notes, it says it's bergamot, coconut, and ambro, Ambrox, Ambro, I don't know, I didn't look it up. But it smells really nice. It's got like a sexy, beachy kind of scent, perfect summer scent. Really enjoying this so far. I had so much trouble finding sales this week. Oh my gosh, I found one, and it was from an email. Derma E Progressive Sale. It's kind of hard to follow, so stay with me on this. It's 20% off of $30 or more, 25% off of $40 or more, and 30% off of $50 or more. And each one has its own unique code. So depending on how much you spend, you're gonna use either Spring 20, Spring 25, or Spring 30. And it ends April 18th if you're interested in that. All right, our artist shout out of the week. Wait till you see her. Wait till you see her. Her name is Magdalena. She is from Poland. Oh my gosh, let's zoom it in. This look is called Magic Fog. I mean, the dedication to detail is incredible. I absolutely love the contrast of the two sides of the face and the shading on the cracked side. Oh my gosh. Absolutely gorgeous. Moving on to her second look, this one is called Toucan. She also has a bunch of these really close zoomed in detailed eye looks that are really, really pretty. I mean, the Toucan is so adorable, and I love that the blue that it's sitting on is just so sharp because of the cut crease and everything, and it's so bright and foiled, and then she contrasts that with that soft rainbow behind it. And of course, You cannot not say anything about the glitter brows. It's just so subtle and pretty. Like, I'm glad she didn't overdo it on the glitter. It's just beautiful. Third look is called Welcome to the Land of Oz. And I wanted to show this one because if you go back a little bit, you'll find a bunch of blacklight looks. And last week we talked about our artist of the week had entered this NYX challenge for Halloween of 2021. This was also part of that NYX challenge. The Google translation of the caption says, I present to you the glass lady who is made of millions of pieces of glass from all corners of Oz. I mean, how cool is this look? Like, just the choice of the colors of glass and where she places them is perfection. It's absolute perfection. And her whole Instagram is like that. You just look around and just like, wow. Number of followers, 6,525. Absolutely unacceptable. It's stupid. I know, but it is. It's unacceptable. And I love, 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 love this account. I just started following. If you would like to follow her to enjoy her work, I feel like we should be following people because we enjoy looking at it, not just to support people that will never ever like their posts, will never ever do anything, but because we genuinely want to enjoy what they're creating. And I feel like Magdalena's account is one of those. So if you'd like to go follow, links down below. And that, my friend, was What's Up in Makeup this week. Thank you so, so much for watching. And of course, thank you as always to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook hunters. Their names are scrolling below me. Thank you so much for all of your submissions this week. I appreciate you oh so very much. Chat this week. I'm gonna cancel chat this week because it's Easter and I lose track of when the holidays are. I go 1 week at a time and sometimes I just forget. I know we have Easter, we have Ramadan, we have Passover. There's so much going on this weekend. I just don't think it's a functional weekend to have a live chat. But we'll be back most likely with live chat the following week. Thank you again so much for watching What's With Makeup. I know you have so many choices of what to watch and I appreciate that you're here. And if you would like to hang out a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a couple of videos for you right over here to watch. But if it is your time to go, because you got stuff to do, because it's a very big holiday weekend, I totally get it. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you, and I'll see you in a video very, very soon.